Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Faster Tadpoles podcast. Uh,
This is gonna be a very quick one.
in a very quick episode here, in one of the weirdest things that we've ever had, we've been recording 50 plus episodes. We use Streamlabs. I just record the episodes. They go right to the file. I upload them on YouTube. It is cut and dry, fast as could be. In 50 plus episodes of doing this podcast, and this episode, I'm not saying it's anything tied to this. I'm just saying that coincidence sometimes is extremely weird. We have been talking about the whistleblower incident, about the recent Congress meeting with the UAPs and aliens and everything that we've gone through. And this was a part two to the part one where we watched the expose with David there. So this episode here was supposed to be another full episode. We were already 45 minutes in of this episode that we just had, and it cut out. It literally cut out. It said that the file was not available. It was corrupt, and it completely dumped the file up to where I can't even fix it or upload it or do anything. So here we are doing a quick touch episode. We touched on a lot of things this past episode that really now are lost, and it's just weird that this has happened. So yeah, I guess just listen in on this little episode here. We were just about to finish up talking about everything that was going on with the Congress meeting, basically confirming that a lot of the stuff that were the populace were questioning and thinking about may not be so fake. So Drake, if you want to take us away, Drake had a couple of bullet points here to kind of end what was supposed to be our actual podcast.
Yep. I'll sum it up real quick here. So basically, first and foremost, I mentioned both parties were there. We had AOC from the Democrats and a dude from the down south. I can't remember his freaking name, Teddy or something I don't know. They were both working together. They was really non-political. It was very, very well done, very non-political, very straightforward and to the point to help the American people, help the American citizens know what's going on. Stop them from being lied to. Not only them, but also Congress. I went into a point where I said that 3 of the politicians that were there had been told previously of a UFO encounter that had a bunch of different radar, infrared, FLIR, visual sighting, all the instrumentation, documentation from that. And they went down to go to see it, to check it out. And they were denied access. Now, these are congressmen. If you look this up, congressmen of the highest clearance in all of the United States. They are technically the government itself because they construct the laws. They tear down and build up government wings and whatnot like that. So these guys were denied access. They were not allowed in. Very interesting. Prior to this meeting, a lot of the stuff that David Grush says, okay, well, real quick, David Grush, he's a all-around American. He loves his people. He loves his country. He loves the brotherhood. He loves that belonging to being in a cause. He's
not here for fame, folks.
He's not here for fame. He's not here to make money. And he doesn't want to run. He doesn't want to have to run from his country. He doesn't want to have to live in another country under hiding from the U.S. government like Edward Snowden. He is here to do this proper, the legal way, and because of that, he'd give information, all of his information, to the old Attorney General for the intelligence agencies, who's been retired, but the Attorney General said this is credible and urgent. They pushed it forward. They spoke with the DoD and got confirmation of some things they can say and can release, and some things that are classified. I will say now, some things may not be classified, but they will be classified for a different reason. So, like, if I took a picture of you on my cell phone right here, if I took a picture of you on my cell phone, and the picture is just of you, the picture is not of anything important, the picture itself wouldn't be classified, but if this device, if you're not supposed to know what this device is, the picture has all kinds of statistics and stats and information to go along with it. Maybe if those information and those statistics and stats of the instruments that were used to take that picture view was classified or is specialized, then the picture then becomes classified because it
Yeah.
can tell you all kinds of stuff about it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
and the
that's how
government's
they
not ready to
classify
give up.
certain things. Yeah,
Yeah, the government's not ready to give up those secrets,
we have a lot. We have
primarily give up
very
those
good
secrets.
instrumentation. That's we
Yeah,
don't
they're
want
not ready to give that
other,
stuff because
you know,
of military advancements for other countries.
yeah, yeah.
They're trying to stay top
They
dollar and
maintain their
keep all the other
edge.
countries in the loop. So out of the loop.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what makes a lot of the stuff classified. You know, that's why it can't be released to public because if it's public knowledge, it's everybody's knowledge essentially.
Yeah.
So basically, what they would do to be able to give this classified information to the Congress, then is they would hold a SCIF, which is like a privatized meeting where no cell phones, no electronic devices, no recording. The intelligence agencies sit outside the room with specialized devices that like figure that they'll check for wireless data or anything inside the room. It's pretty hardcore. They got to go through metal detectors, no shoes, no hats, no jackets. Like you're searched. Everybody's searched. Pretty crazy. Angesh tried setting up a SCIF with David Grush and the three other gentlemen, which is David Favor and Ryan Graves. David Favor is a naval commander, and Ryan Graves is a naval pilot. They tried setting it up, and they were denied access again. So, in order to deny the people with the highest clearance in the U.S. government access to something, which the DoD was the one that denied it, that's kind of fishy first and foremost. If what he's saying is all lies and nonsense, like the DoD is saying, David Grush is saying, then what's the point? Why
They would
why
want him. Yeah, they'd
you know,
want
they
they'd
would,
want him
let
to
him talk
speak
and
out and be like, yeah,
let him
that's
talk
fake.
and let him see how stupid he sounds. You know,
Yeah,
if it's fake.
exactly.
But so because they denied it, that's all but denying that this is relevant.
Yep.
That this is credible. So there's that, which is super. Just that itself right there is pretty hardcore. A lot of the stuff that they had questions asked about was stuff that was David Grush had spoken about inside that debriefing that interview that he had on News Nation, I think it was. You can go ahead and watch that. We watched some of it on a podcast. You can listen to that back to the Aliens Are Here or whatever I think it was called.
Yep.
You can check that out. It goes over a lot of it. Basically, what they were asking is like non-human, whether non-human crafts were like obtained, which he said yes, non-human craft was obtained. Now, here's an interesting thing, is that it seems to be there's different non-human crafts that are being seen, and there are two of the more realistic ones that are being seen would be Tic Tac shaped craft, which are ones that pilots seem to encounter over the oceans quite often, which are able to accelerate at hypersonic speeds right away and can travel from 50, 60,000 feet down to 20,000 feet and then back out. Again, the cap for, I believe, the air when it turns into outer space is 80,000 feet. So the fact that it can
Yeah.
travel that high, even higher, is pretty astounding. 60,000 feet down to 20,000, back up to 60,000 is straight up and down like that is pretty astounding.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So there's a lot of that stuff that the gentleman, Ryan Graves, he was one of the pilots that those three videos that were released from the U.S. government that said that these are UAP, we don't know what they are. He was actually one of the pilots of that. He's a very highly decorated pilot. He does not care about UFOs. He does not care about aliens. He does not care about non-human biological entities. He was just told to come down and defend this point because he had seen this and he wants the truth out for the American people again. So that's pretty hardcore.
So you had a couple
The
points you
the
wanted to end on.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, they wanted to remove stigma. One of the big talking points was how to remove the stigma of like reporting aliens or talking about aliens or anything like that to around this, and they said that that's going to be an important part, not only for like discovering what these things are, but for just human like U.S. counterintelligence in general. If we have more people reporting things in the sky, that they don't know what it is, because let's be serious, a UFO, a UAP is not always going to be. Heck, 90% of the time, it's not going to be a non-human intelligence. It's going to be something
Yeah.
man-made.
Like angry
So
little men.
the
Yeah.
more things we have, people looking in the sky, the more we're going to spot something, the better we're going to spot something. Pilots flying around right now, pilots are scared to report something. About 5% of all UAP or UAP or UFO sightings are not reported within the military. 95% are not reported. 5% is all that's reported. And out of those 5%, there's like 3%, which is found to be, we don't know what that is. You know, so there's a large chunk of that's not being reported. That can be anything. These could be other countries' craft that are coming down that might be, pretty interesting stuff, that if we just reported it and we looked over all the instrumentation data that was gathered from it, we would know more about it. So I think that this thing to get rid of the stigma is a great way, is something that 100% needs to happen just in general.
Yep.
And I think it's
Yep.
going to happen. 56% of the U.S. believes that aliens are here and are visiting us right now, which, I mean, that tells you a lot. The other thing is, we need to figure out a new way to have everything be reported. Whether that's set up a new agency that reports outside of the different intelligence agencies, that's given clearance and access that every other wing of the military, commercial, pilots, anybody can just report to and give these findings to, and the better that we can become with counterintelligence. Which is, again, a wholly good thing. Congress, everybody in Congress, both left and right sides, were talking about forcing the U.S. government to release information that's after 15 to 20 years old that has no more relevance to anything going on. So if it's like an older spy plane that's like the old Dark Star from the 1960s, that's all old information. So why is any of that classified still? No idea. Might as well just release it all. So they're saying to come out and do that, which again would be super good. That's more information that we get to learn about our government,
Yep.
that government was doing, whether it's cool or shitty. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be
Like I
honest,
said,
all
like
governments
we
are
touched
shitty
on,
in all regards.
all those Cold War documents now that are coming out. Like it's all.
Yeah, there's still a ton of that stuff that's hanging out. There was a bunch of stuff that David basically couldn't like say, yeah, this is true. This is exactly right here. Like the Congress asked quite often, like, who are some names or what agencies are doing this with the UAP that they're collecting or whatnot. David said, I cannot confirm and deny who is doing this. But in a skiff, I can give you exactly who's hostile. I can give you who would work with you on this. I can give you exactly what
Yeah.
agencies and where to look. He can tell you everything, like specifically exactly everything, but just not in public because again, a lot of instrumentation, all that stuff, a lot of locations are all classified, and we can't have that being done publicly.
Yeah.
So now the next move that the Congress has to do, which they said they're going to work on, is getting into a skiff with David Grush, which who knows how long that could take. That
Yeah.
could take a couple months to a year.
Yep.
But they said they're going to push. They're going to push hard for this, which is super good. So that pretty much like clears up everything that was said in there. Again, just to reiterate some of the points, the U.S. has in its arsenal, not in its arsenal, but has at its disposal, or like the research, non-human aircraft, partially intact and fully intact. It has reports of Tic Tacs that are being driven around at hypersonic speeds around aircraft. Congress asked if these non-human intelligence are watching us, sizing us up, and seeing what kind of technology we have, which all three of the gentlemen said 100% absolutely, yes, yes, yes. The other aircraft that's being seen is a clear sphere with a white or gray triangle on the inside of it floating around, which is also very interesting. It seems like from this, a lot of the triangle blacked out aircraft that we might be seeing in the sky is ours. Anytime you see a triangle blacked out aircraft, that's more than likely going to be ours. They
Yeah.
said the other big item was a red football field shaped, about the size of a football field as well, rectangular aircraft that came over, visited something, and then left again. We're watching what the Patterson Wright Air Force Base can do, coming from the sky and just taking off like right up out of nowhere. And they said that these UFOs are also submersible, so they're USOs, unidentified submersible objects. They said that they can travel right through all different mediums at no problem. Super interesting. So that's basically everything that we talked about up until this point. Short Cliff's Notes mode. Here's what we'll go into though for the last rounding up of this, Luke. I believe there's three conclusions of what this could be. Okay, and I'll give you the percentage of what I believe these conclusions at. I'd say conclusion A, which aliens are here, non-human intelligence is here. The U.S. government has them. Other governments in the world possibly has them as well, and it's going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out. You know,
Yeah.
I think the government's actually like slowly getting ready to release it, just so that the American public and other
Yeah,
publics around the
exactly.
country,
We have a right to
you know,
know.
is around. I want to say that's about 40%. I put that at.
Okay.
The other 60%, I'm going to say aliens probably aren't real. Okay, but I'm going to split that 60% into two: 30% B and then 30% C. Option B is that with heightened tension right now with not only Russia but China as well. If we come out and if we come out and we have this whole big thing of an actual certified like actual person that's highly decorated within the U.S. intelligence community comes out and says, "Yeah, we have aliens," and then the U.S. is like, "Oh no, we don't." Her, you know, and then all of a sudden, like they find out, like David Grush, it turns out he was right. We do have alien stuff. Maybe we did back engineer a fucking photon laser gun, you know, who know, you know,
Yeah.
or some specialized craft that we don't want to tell you guys about, you know. If the Chinese doesn't have that, if Russia doesn't have that, if a state against the USA or its allies doesn't have that, now those states are going to assume that the US has alien technology at its disposal. Whether or not we can use it yet is a different story, but it's going to assume that we have that, and therefore think twice about entering an engagement with the US moving forward.
Power move.
Kind of make them hesitate a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then the third option, option C, is again sort of the same thing, but instead of it being a counter to states that may be against the U.S. in regards, it's to limit the freedoms of the American people some more and increase their defense budget spending. It's going to come out again saying, "Oh, yep, they were right. We do have aliens. They are actually here. We're trying to stop. We're trying to create something that we can fight against the aliens because they're here and they are hostile." Since David Grush mentioned twice now that they have killed U.S. soldiers. These non-human intelligence have.
Yeah, it's a great way to
unprovoked, you know, so they can say, "Oh, the aliens are here. They have killed us. We can't do anything against them right now. We need more money to be able to reverse engineer this shit."
Yeah.
How are you guys okay with being attacked constantly by aliens, or would you guys want us to just, you know, increase your taxes a little bit and then have us, you know, protect you? Oh,
Yep.
increase my taxes a little bit. Have you protect me just in case. Let's put cameras all over the place now so we can watch you a little bit more as well. Just that way, if aliens want to abduct you, because now abductions are real, this way you're protected from abductions because we have cameras on you now.
Well, you're not protected,
You
but
know.
the evidence will be there.
Yeah. We'll know you were abducted. We know where to look from you now. You know.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
that's
aliens don't
it's
want
a
to be
talking
seen
point
abducting
to build.
anybody. You know.
Yeah,
So I
it's a
mean,
talking point
like,
to build things.
it's a talking point to slowly either limit us or increase them, you know.
Okay.
And those are very conspiratorial ways of looking at it. C is massively conspiratorial, I'd say, as it's like the government against the civilians, where I don't want that. I don't think I don't want that to be the actual truth, you know.
Yeah,
I
I
want
hope
it to
that's
be
not. Yeah.
I want it to be I want it to be the aliens are real and actually here, and we do have some cool shit from them. But like I said, I'm putting that at 40%, and the
Yeah.
other two options, I'm doing the other two options together at 60%, even though I only have both options at 30. Either of those two options is more believable, especially option B, the one we're just trying to scare our enemy states, you know, from having, you know, from wanting to engage with us in a
Mm-hmm.
military in a military or a war or a military action or anything like that, you know.
Yep.
I think that one's probably the most realistic. But again, I'm giving it 30% as well as 30% of the other one. So we'll see what comes out. Either way, in all three scenarios, aliens are real.
Yeah, aliens are real. I hope you guys
Aliens
enjoyed
are real
this.
and they're here.
Yeah, aliens are real. I really hope you guys enjoyed this short episode. I'm sorry that you guys missed out on the other 40 minutes that we had recorded.
It was
It
some
was a
good
good
stuff.
one.
It was some good stuff, man.
It's so fucking weird that
Very strange that we're talking
we've
about
been
this.
doing this so long, and this is the first time this is the first time I've ever had a corrupt file on my computer. Hopefully, it's not the first, or I hope it is the last. Knock on wood there, but honestly, it is. It's scary how coincidences sometimes work. We weren't talking about anything else, but literally whistleblowers and aliens and stuff. So. I hope you guys enjoyed this short abbreviated episode. We'll be back with some regular content. Like I said, this will be kind of a sidebar to the regular podcast.
We'll keep
kind of a fun thing for Drake and I.
Stuff. If stuff evolves and comes out, more information, we'll maybe just shoot a small episode up here and there. Just
once we get more information on it, like I said, and it usually is just it is just Drake and I. Unfortunately, Luke and Danny, our special guest last time, died in a car accident last couple days ago, going to see Teletubbies on Ice. They were on the way. They were excited. They had their outfits, and they crashed. I heard it was a banger of a show too. They were excited. Luke was driving, just wasn't paying attention, and just
Tyler, the ghost of Tyler, got him again.
Yep, the ghost of Tyler was distracting Luke in his ear, so
Teletubbies on Ice was my thing.
I don't know if we'll ever get them back on the podcast again.
He's like, I love Teletubbies on Ice way more than Megalodon. So
they're all spirits now. Do you think they're watching us?
Pinky Winky, he's that's who it is.
So stupid.
It's only your little laugh got me.
Hopefully the spirits of our as Danny alluded to, hopefully the spirits of our friends aren't watching us thinking we are really dumb right now, because that's supposedly how ghosts look at you, according to
our previous special guest here,
who is now dead. So you guys enjoyed the episode. It's a short one. We'll be back, like I said, probably in a couple of days with another episode, and we'll just touch on some stuff, and we'll keep following along for this little saga. So
we had 2 possible ideas for episodes as well. If you guys want, one episode we can go over. We do ghost hunt every now and then. We do have like some evidence that's interesting to look at. We're pretty Luke and I are pretty facts based guys, and we try to like look at things from a logical standpoint. So a lot of the stuff that we have. We'll upload it, see what you guys think, and we'll tell you what we think in these regards. For Ghostwise, I think that would be a fun podcast to do. We could show you guys a bunch of the stuff as well.
I've got a lot of pictures and videos and stuff from Rolling Hills Asylum, from a cemetery, from a couple of other places that we've gone to, where we can just kind of look over this stuff and talk about the things that we encountered during that time, and whatever else we have going on with those
situations. Then, another idea I had too is, if you guys want to hear this or not, Luke here is a pretty big fan of aircraft and tons of stuff like that. So and then I've been, over the past year or whatnot, I've been researching like newer aged aircraft and whatnot, as well as like Black Ops or protoplanes. So I mean, I think a podcast about like how the evolution of aircraft and the evolution would be. I think that'd be fun for us to discuss. Luke knows tons and tons about like the beginning. It's like World War II and Cold War and forward, and then I have some pretty decent information on like the new age, as well as Black Ops, protoplanes. So
we'll touch up on all that too. So
talk about. So. But let us know if you like that. If you don't want to hear that, then I'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and we do. I did touch on this once again in the last episode too. That got corrupted. We do appreciate. I mean, the shorts have gotten hundreds of views now. Videos are getting more views than we're usually expecting. We do this for free. We only do it because we have fun and we like to talk and joke around. So thanks for the support. Thanks guys.
This is free. I get paid quite a lot for doing
Drake
this.
gets paid handsomely. I just do this for free.
I get paid in Trident layers actually.
Alrighty, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll talk to you in the next one.
See you later.